Welcome into another edition of The Butcher versus the Spin Instructor, presented by LB's Meat Market. I'm Neil McCready. Greg Jones of LB's Meat Market is here. Campbell McCready of Zen Studios in Fayetteville is here as well. Back for another week of picking college football games. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome. Oh, congratulations on your 1-year anniversary at Zen.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So last year, Greg did not do well in this competition. He very clearly spent the offseason preparing. He, whatever he did in the offseason training program, it worked. He's off to a fantastic start. Another big week from Greg last week, 6-3 on his part. Campbell apparently did the rubber chicken circuit after winning a championship. She just kind of went around speaking, talking to groups, collecting awards and trophies, and talking about how she did it. Wrote a book about how I
paid for college.
Yeah. And so far she's off to a sluggish start, but it's not too late. There's still plenty of time to catch up. Campbell now 6 games back of Greg as we get ready for another week. We're gonna get to the games in a minute. First, let's talk about LB's a minute. 2008 University Avenue in Oxford, right across from Kroger, but there's no reason to go to Kroger except to use it as a landmark to find LB's if you don't know where it is. It's across the street in that shopping center. It's absolutely fantastic. I was telling Greg Campbell before you got on that last week on Friday I had time. I've kind of front-loaded my work week where I'm finished by the end of Thursday if I do it right. And on Friday, I kind of have a quasi day mostly off. And so I went to LB's and I got some strips and I put them in the sous vide at about 127.5, I think is what it was, for about 6 hours. And then we were going to eat earlier. And then Carson went to a movie with some friends. And so we waited another couple hours. So they might have sous vide'd for 7 or 8 hours. I just finished them on the grill real fast. They were the best steak I've ever had. Carson could not stop bragging about it. So we'll do that next week when you and Caroline come home.
I was about to say I'm a little jealous because we had grilled cheese for lunch here, and the bread was a little too grilled and the cheese was not melted. So, I'm ready for some good food.
It was fantastic. So we got that at LB's. They've got chicken, pork. We got some of the sausages. We got I got the lamb sausage, Greg.
Oh, how was that?
It was fantastic. We got the lamb sausage, the ribeye sausage, and I got the Swayze sausage, which is a pork sausage. If you like chicken sausage, they've got chicken feta. They've got the jalapeno chicken, which is my favorite. They've got all sorts of stuff at LB's. Stuffed mushrooms of different varieties. They've got the stuffed jalapeno poppers. Those are great. And don't forget, when you walk in at LB's, on the left, there's the frozen section. If you're not in a big hurry, go to the frozen section. You'll save yourself a little money, and the food is every bit as good because it's fresh frozen. It's not like 3-4 times frozen shipped from Vietnam or something. It's really strong. What do you have going on this weekend, Greg? You got to get braced up for Ole Miss has an open date. The next week it's at Alabama, and then Arkansas heads to town. Won't be long before LSU heads to town. It's about to get busy here in the Big O.
Yeah, it should be a really good weekend to take a week off from home games, and that even the Alabama weekend's probably going to be a really busy weekend in Oxford. So it's that time of the year where full blown in the at the meat market here and getting everything stocked up for the weekend. And fresh fish will come in tomorrow. I'll be getting a bunch of fish tomorrow and some fresh Gulf shrimp. If spiny lobster is on the fish list, I might get a couple spiny lobsters. But yeah, just got done making a bunch of sausage and we're ready to go.
Campbell, what's going on at Zen?
At Zen, not much. I mean, I taught yesterday and there's only 2 people in my class, which was very unusual, but it was 2 of my friends, so it was fun, but there's just the same old.
All right.
What's the mixtapes looking like these days? What are we rolling with these days?
I've been using classes from last semester, so I kind of just pick on the spot, honestly.
That's good.
It's school's been a little harder this semester, I gather, because they're in person, and it's a little more demanding, I think. Is that fair?
Well, I'm only in 12 hours, and I'm in a 1 hour elective for mental health, actually, this is funny because my class got moved completely virtual yesterday due to him having too many conflicts. So my mental health class is no longer in person. So really, I only have 3 classes this semester, but they're all a lot of work. So yeah, maybe I'd say a little harder.
So your mental health class is no longer mentally healthy. Is that what you're saying?
My mental health class clearly was not a priority for my professor.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what do you do?
You're probably still getting paid.
Yeah, he's it must be nice. Just don't work, get same money. It's all good. All right, we'll get into the picks. Georgia, undefeated Georgia, ranked number 2 in the country. They head to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt coming off of a loss to Stanford. This is an 11 a.m. game on the SEC network. Georgia on the road in the SEC, a 34-point favorite. Greg, you're up.
Well, that's a lot of points for an SEC game, and you just got to give it. You got to just. I don't know. I'm going to go Georgia. I mean, I just don't. I mean, like, I just don't see it. I just. I'm hoping for. I don't know. 45-10. Will that work?
That would do it. 45-10 would cover it by one point. Campbell, what do you think?
I'm going to agree and go with Georgia. I've never picked Vanderbilt, and I'll stick with that. So I'm going with Georgia.
Yeah, it's not a bad strategy. It's really not. All right, Missouri on the road as a favorite. They go to Boston College. This is a game that can be seen at 11 a.m. Central on ESPN2. Missouri, a 2.5-point favorite, Campbell, at Boston College.
Well, I don't know anything about Boston College, and I don't know anything about Missouri either. But what's new? I'll go with Missouri. I don't know about this one, but.
All right, Greg, she's going to lay 2.5 at Chestnut Hill with the Tigers. What do you think?
Kind of reminded me of last year's season. She just has no clue about it, and and so I'm going to go. I'm going to go Boston College. I'm going to go with the home dog. We'll see. We'll roll the dice and try to get some early action against each other.
It's a weird game because I've got to pick it for Neil's picks too, and I was looking at some of the analytics today. Even though Boston College is unbeaten, most of the analytics point in Missouri's favor. But I don't know. It's a weird game. Why Boston College would schedule a game? Why Missouri would schedule a game at Boston College is sort of beyond me. But whatever. I guess it's an ACC foe. You got to play somebody in the Power Five. All right, LSU. It's a fascinating game. LSU goes to Starkville. It's 11 a.m. on ESPN in case you want to watch it, and I do. Mississippi State coming off of a really controversial loss at Memphis last week. Officiating definitely helped the Tigers. Speaking of the Tigers, the LSU Tigers looked really good against Central Michigan last week, though still some rumblings of trouble down there in Baton Rouge. Greg, you're up.
I'm going to go with LSU here. I just think they're a better team and better talent across the board. And, I'm just going to roll the dice with LSU here.
All right, Campbell, Greg's going to lay the 2.5 in Starkville. What about you?
Well, I was going to pick Mississippi State, but I'm behind. So, I'll go with LSU. So I don't lose another one this week.
The strategy on your part it's really intriguing.
Hey, I won last time, so y'all can't say
anything. Yeah. Well, I noticed how I didn't say anything.
No one can ever take the 2020 championship away from you. That is true. It's yours forever. All right, interesting game here. I know Campbell will be at this one. Texas A&M is headed to Dallas. They'll meet Arkansas there at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. This is the CBS game at 2:30. Texas A&M is a 5.5-point favorite. Campbell, I know you're headed to the game. What's your plan for the weekend? What are y'all doing?
Well, Parker, who was the one that ate the burger, so everyone should know who that is we're leaving at 6:30 on Friday morning so we can go to the JFK Museum on Friday.
Yeah.
That was a priority on our schedule. And then Saturday, we're staying in a hotel and we have a party bus driving us to and from the game. We have it scheduled. Parker's kind of like our go-to trip organizer. You
Well,
could
that
say.
sounds like a good plan and a responsible plan for Saturday, because I know that there will likely be, drinks. I mean, I'm not stupid. I know that's going to happen. It's a fun. You ever been to a game there, Greg, at Jerry World?
Yeah, I went to the first Cotton Bowl whenever
yeah.
Ole Miss and Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State, yeah.
I think that was the I'm 40. The guy Gundy said I'm 40. I'm a man. I think that's what I think that was that year.
I think it was that season. I think you're right, because I saw the reporter that he did that too at the hospitality room, and we talked about it. Jenny.
Yeah, Jerry's World's nice. Yeah, it's good.
Jenny Carlson. She'll
forever
be.
What's that?
I said she will forever be known as the reporter that got the I'm a man, I'm 40. All right, so let's see. Campbell, Texas A&M's a 5.5-point favorite. What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna go with Arkansas. This is the first time we've been 3-0 since 2016. I heard.
Ooh.
So,
So I'm surprised you were 3-0 in 2016. It's been a while since Arkansas has been good. What's the buzz on campus? Are people getting excited about it? Because you actually look like you have a good football team this year.
Yeah, everyone's really excited. Literally everyone is going to Dallas on Friday, so it'll be really fun.
All right, Greg, she's going to take the Hogs, take the 5.5 points. What do you think?
I'm going to be smart and take Arkansas too. I think Arkansas is a good team this year, and kind of can't wait for Arkansas to come to Oxford. That should be a really good game. So I'm going to agree with her. I'm going to go take the Woo Pig and Arkansas this weekend.
I'll freely admit here that I'm cheering for Arkansas on Saturday, obviously because of the girls. They're going to the game. I've studied this game a little bit because I'm really interested in it, and everything points towards A&M. So I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope that both of you are right, and that Arkansas pulls this off. It'd be a fun story in the league, but I worry about A&M's speed against that Arkansas offense. All right, Georgia State heads to Auburn. This is a 3 p.m. game on the SEC Network. Auburn coming off that loss at Penn State. Campbell, you got that one right last week. Georgia State is a 27-point underdog at Auburn. Greg, what do you think?
Well, that's a lot of points. And, not to take anything away from that game that Auburn had against Penn State. It was a really good game. I was kind of expecting that to be a really good game. And I'm going to go – I'm in an underdog move. We'll take the points, and we'll go Georgia State and see if we can't get a late touchdown to cover.
All right, Campbell, Greg's going to take the 27 points at Jordan-Hare Stadium. What do you think?
I'm going to agree. I feel like I've gotten it right with Auburn because I don't like them. So I'm going to go with Georgia State as well.
You've been very consistent in your dislike of Auburn since your very first time on the campus. You didn't like it the afternoon before the tour. We had a really good dinner that night at Acre, but you didn't.
Well, I think I had made up my mind previously when we went to the Arkansas tour that that's where I wanted to go, but we still went to OU, and I wish we would have just stayed here because I think I had my mind made up pretty early, but I'm sticking with my never picking Auburn.
Okay.
And it usually works. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's hadn't missed pretty much every time with Auburn.
You've been good with your anti-Auburn pick. All right, Tennessee is which might explain why Auburn fired a coach last year. Might tell you that it just didn't work. Tennessee heads to Florida. This game's at 6 p.m. on ESPN. The Gators coming off of that narrow loss to Alabama, which is something we'll talk about a lot on the Oxford Exxon podcast over the next week and a half as Ole Miss gets ready to head to Alabama next weekend. Tennessee, Campbell, is a 20-point underdog at Florida. What do you think?
Again, I don't really know much about this one. I'll just go with Florida because I know they're better than Tennessee. So
they're definitely better, Greg. The question is, are they 21 points better? What do you think?
And that's kind of a semi-rivalry game. Back into the old, early days of the SEC East, and that SEC East championship usually ran through Gainesville or Knoxville. So I'm going to take Tennessee. We have to disagree sooner or later. So I'm going to have to disagree with her. I'm going to go with Tennessee and just hope that it's a good ball game, and hopefully in the fourth quarter they can hold on and lose by 14. So I'm going to go with that route.
You're right. Late 90s, early 2000s, this was the game every single year. And then for a while it was Alabama LSU. And I guess now they're kind of looking for a game to be the game because it's not LSU anymore. All right. Kentucky, 5.5-point favorite at South Carolina. The Wildcats did not look good last week in beating Chattanooga. South Carolina, unfortunately for all of us, provided a backdoor cover and snuck under the number against Georgia. So this game's in Columbia, 6:00 Central Time on ESPN, and the Gamecocks are getting 5.5 points, Greg.
I just got back from Lexington, and Lexington's a beautiful place.
It is.
It's really nice, and we went to a couple of horse farms, and it's just beautiful out there. And so, with that being said, my Kentucky home is on my mind, so I might as well go with the Wildcats here. So I like Kentucky.
Campbell, he's taking Kentucky, laying the 5.5 on the road. What do you think?
This is one where I usually pick South Carolina because I went there once and I have nothing else to say. So I guess, I'll stick with that for this one too.
Yeah, I don't. It's if anybody's looking for evidence as to why some of the momentum has been lost from one year to the second, she just gave you Exhibit A right there. Maybe she's right. I don't know. I mean, Kentucky has been sloppy. I love Kentucky in this game, to be honest, but we shall see. All right, one more. Southern Mississippi, the Golden Eagles. Our friend Will Hall, in year one there in Hattiesburg, he takes his team to Alabama. This game's a 6:30 kickoff on the SEC network. Let's see, it's Campbell's turn. Campbell, Alabama is a 45-point favorite. 45 points at home at Bryant-Denny against Southern Miss. What do you think?
Well, that's a lot of points, and I think I'm going to have to go against Alabama and pick Southern Miss for this one. And now Caroline, one of her best friends on the cheer team there.
Oh.
So I now have a new angle for Southern Miss in case it ever comes up again. But, yeah, I'm going to go Southern Miss.
Man.
Greg, 45 points, man. That is some rich – that's like Kobe beef. I don't know what the word is. The richest beef you've got. That's 45 points worth. Ooh, that's a bunch.
That's a bunch. And, I mean, I feel like Alabama is kind of vulnerable this year, it looks like. I mean, from watching that Florida game, watched a little bit of it. Florida had a good chance in there. And, and just it is what it is. Alabama somehow finds a way. I think it's going to be maybe 28-0 right at halftime, maybe 34-0. They might pump the brakes in the second half. So I can see Southern covering this 45. So I'm going to go with the girl on the cheer team. Hopefully she can get a late touchdown for the cover for us. I like the cheer team angle. I like that.
Yeah, that is a really good angle. And they were friends. That's true. They were right next to each other at graduation and everything. So yeah, 45 points. That's a bunch. I'll tell you, next week we'll be talking about Alabama and Ole Miss a ton. Obviously, that game in Bryant-Denny next Saturday at 2:30. I'm having to talk myself out of picking Ole Miss in that game. I'm not going to do it because I'll get killed if it happens. But I've got a funny feeling about it. I like the Rebels' chances next week.
Yeah, I do too, and I try not to get excited about the Rebs because I know what ends up happening when I get excited about the Rebs. So, but yeah, offense is playing really good. Matt Corral's on fire, and the defense is sneaky good. And I was surprised with the Tulane game. They defense did really good on the soggy turf and everything, and made some key tackles. And I like how the defense is playing. So it's hard not to go like the Rebs next week.
Okay, so we'll get to that one next week. Again, LB's Meat Market, 2008 University Avenue in Oxford, right across from Kroger. Greg, tell the people how they can get in touch with you if they want to set something up and kind of get an order together.
Yeah, I mean, just always call the store, 662-259-2999. That's the best way to get in touch with us up here at LB's. And if you want to place an order and, with about, 8-lane trains or 6-lane trains or 12 mushrooms or whatever you like up here, just call us and give us an advance heads up, and we'll get you taken care of and set it over the side. That way you're guaranteed to have your order.
Okay, Campbell, safe travels to Dallas. Hope you have a great weekend. Be safe. I love you. And we'll talk to you again next week on the Butcher versus the Spin Instructor, presented by LB's Meat Market. Until then, for Campbell, for Greg, I'm Neil. Take care.